Elias Rourke shoved open the intake bay doors and thrust his arms under the scanner arch. Blue light swept over his skin, tracing every puckered scar from wrist to elbow. Jagged lines from acid burns, thin whips from thorns, puckered burns from plasma flares. The machine beeped approval. He lowered his arms. Brock Juno loomed forward, his armored bulk casting a shadow. The security trooper's mandibles clicked in laughter. Stars above look at the Death World or canvas. What you do, trip over your own feet? Those scars scream weak hide. The bay's other recruits, sleek Keth and lithe Soren, shifted. Vakri San, squad lead, tapped her data slate. Her frilled crest flattened. Talanaris, the medic, glanced up from her console, optics narrowing. Elias met Brock's gaze. He said nothing. Brack leaned closer, breath hot with chem scent. Procedure calls for calibration needles. Full set. Into the nerves. Bet you flinch first, prick soft skin. Administer it, Elias said. Tala approached with the injector tray. 6 gleaming needles, each tipped with neural probes. Standard tolerance test. Keth average at 3. Soren at 4. Humans. Uncalibrated. Brock snatched the first needle. Watch this. He jammed it into Elias's forearm, twisting for the nerve cluster. Pain bloomed. White hot. Familiar. Elias held Brack's eyes. No blink. No twitch. Brock yanked it free. Luck. Second needle. Deeper into the bicep. Elias breathed steady. 3rd through 6th followed. Brack's mandibles grinding frustration. Elias's arm throbbed. He ignored it. Dropped his sleeves. Tala scanned the puncture sites. Arrow microtremors. Neural feedback stable. Pain blockers inactive. Her voice carried. Data confirms. Tolerance exceeds parameters. Vakri's crest twitched. Impressive. But scars suggest sloppiness, not skill. Prove usefulness. External repair rotation starts now. Hull patch on the outer strut. Lethal if mishandled. Most recruits decline, Brock snorted. He'll crack. I'll take the lead slot, Elias said. Solo Eva. Full exposure. Silence hit. Vakri's optics widened. The kill slot, 30-minute limit before rad sickness. Recruits die there. Confirmed, Elias said. Brack barked a laugh. Your funeral, Scarface? They suited up in the prep lock. Elias checked his seals. Last technician scout seals, Death Worlder rated. Vakri's voice crackled over comms. Procedure. Tether to strut. Weld patch over microfracture. Tala monitors vitals. Brack secures perimeter.
Elias welds.
Rotate every 10 minutes. No heroics. The outer lock cycled. Vacuum bit. Stars wheeled beyond the station's spine. The strut jutted into void, peppered with meteor scars. Elias jetted out first. Mag boots clamping metal. Radiation gauges ticked up. Fracture at Mark III, Vakri ordered. Weld now. Elias ignited the torch. Sparks flared silent in vacuum. His arms burned from needles, but he layered alloy steady. 10 minutes ticked. Rotate, Vakri snapped. Brack jetted over. My turn. Watch the pro. His weld wobbled at the edges. Security build. Brute force over finesse. Tala's voice cut in. Radiation at 45%. Elias, your vitals nominal. Brock, elevate heart rate 20%. Shut it, medic, Brock growled. Vakri next. Her Keth limbs danced precise. Overlapping seams flawless. Efficiency at 98%, Tala reported. Elias's turn again. Gauge hit 25 minutes. Strut groaned. Hidden stress fracture spiderwebbing. Incoming debris alert, Tala yelled. Micrometeor swarm pinged the hull. One clipped the strut. Metal shrieked. Elias's tether snapped. He tumbled free. Stars spun. Radiation alarms screamed. Man down, Brock bellowed. Vakri's voice sharpened. Procedure. Emergency tether. Brock, deploy line. Brock froze on the strut. Can't reach. Swarm's too thick.
He'll drift.
Elias fired thrusters. Minimal fuel left. He clawed toward a backup clamp. Suit integrity at 82%. Pain clawed his scars. Reopened nerves firing. Radiation soaked in. Nausea rising. He latched the clamp one-handed. Torch reignited. Tala barked data. Elias vitals. Radiation 180%. Pain markers off scale. Keth threshold breached at 120. He's still welding. Brock's comm hissed. Impossible. Pull back. Strut failing, Elias said, flat. Breach in 60 seconds. I seal it or we all vent. Vekri hesitated. Procedure demands evac. No time. Elias drove the torch into the widening crack. Alloy bubbled. His vision grayed. Arms screamed. Old scars splitting under strain. He layered faster, ignoring the swarm's pings on his suit. Brock jetted closer, dodging debris.
You're venting, Atmo!
Fall back. Cover me, Elias grunted. Your armor blocks swarm best. Brock paused. Mandibles clenched. Then he positioned, bulk shielding Elias's flank. Fine.
But you owe, Tala interrupted. Elias endurance, 250% projected Keth max, decision matrix optimal.
Squad comply. Vekri's crest flared over video feed.
Override procedure. Elias leads.
Brock. Shield. By coordinate seams. Brock grunted assent. His rifle pulsed low-energy bursts, vaporizing incoming rocks. Vekri fed vectors. Shift torch 2 degrees port. Elias welded. Radiation clawed his gut. 45 minutes out. Strut stabilized. Seal holding. Tala confirmed. Vitals crashing, but alive. Elias cut torch. Jetted back. Clear. They piled into the lock. Alarms wailed. Desuiting revealed Elias's arms. Elias twisted the torso seal free. The panel clattered to the deck. His arms bared. Ropes of white scar tissue twisted across pale skin. Puckered burns overlapping jagged cuts. Vekri's crest stiffened. Procedure flagged such marks as frailty indicators. Recruits with visible trauma failed sims 80% more often. Tala's scanner whirred. She leaned in, frills quivering, scar tissue density, optimal fusion. No active bleeds. Pain analogs absent. Brack snorted, mandibles clicking. Freak show. Human hides that under sleeves for a reason. Elias ignored him. He flexed both hands, joints popping clean. Grabbed a coolant rag, wiped his face. Strut sealed. Swarm vectors clear. Station holds. Vekri checked the main panel. Feeds confirmed. Radiator output stabilized. Elias's manual reroute held at 98% efficiency. Procedure demanded. 2 techs and remote drones. Elias finished solo. You exceeded parameters, Vekri said. Crest flattening. Report full sequence. Crack widened under debris. Clamped primary. Welded layers. Servos iced. Rerouted bypass valve by hand. Elias's voice stayed level.
No boasts. Oxygen dipped to 12%.
Reserves got me back. Brock's eyes narrowed. Suit logged rad exposure triple safe max. How? No convulsions. Death world baseline, Elias said. Shrugged. Kept welding. Tala tapped her pad. Confirmed. Human pain threshold, 320% Keth equivalent. Radiation scrubbers engaged post-exposure. He'll need gel baths, but functional. Vekri's vents hissed. Instinct screamed override. Pull the human for medevac. Data said otherwise. Elias saved the strut. Saved them. Alarms shrieked. Red lights pulsed across the airlock. Microfracture detected. The station AI droned. Radiator spine sector 7. Thermal spike in 28 minutes. Evac protocols active. Brack swore. Swarm tailings. Spine's our heat dump. Fails, we cook. Vekri pulled up the schematic. Airline split glowed on the feed, expanding under stress. Drones offline from earlier hits. Standard repair. Clamp, weld, remote coolant flush. Elias, Vekri ordered, patch it, before spike peaks. Elias nodded. No questions. Grabbed his tool harness. Stepped to the suit rack. Brack bristled. Him again? Send drones. Or me, drones frozen. Your armor suit security, not micro-welds. Vekri's crest flared authority. Elias specializes. Go. Elias sealed into the EV suit. One arm moved stiff, old scars pulling. He cycled the lock, jetted out. Vekri patched feeds to squad HUDs. Elias's suit cam filled the screen. Void black, station spine gleaming silver ahead. Microfracture pulsed red. Clamp deploying, Elias reported. Arm extended. Magnetic clamp. Bit the alloy. Locked. Suit alarms wailed. Vekri's panel spiked. Thermal bleed 150%. Pull back. Breach risk. Clamped, Elias said. Torch ignited. Blue flame kissed metal. He layered weld-in tight arcs, rapid sequence, no flare. Brock leaned in, alarms screaming. Heat's cooking him. Tala cross-checked. Suited redline. Core temp 220% nominal. He's welding steady. Beckery gripped the console. Procedure. Abort at 180%. Elias drove the torch deeper. Alloy bubbled smooth. 15 minutes gone. Remote servos online? Elias asked. Vecre queried. Negative. Iced solid. Rerouting manual. Elias stowed torch. One hand gripped access hatch. Forced it. Servo whined. Stuck. He wedged a pry bar. Twisted. Hatch popped. Brock whistled. That's high pressure line. Vent. Your plasma. Elias reached in. Fingers danced over valves. Coolant hissed reroute. Feed showed flow restore. Bypass active. Vecre vectored debris. Rock, inbound, port flank. Jet starboard. Elias complied. Dodge clean. Finish seal. Patch holds. Coolant at 95%. Spike delayed. Oxygen gauge blinked yellow. Reserves only. Vecre calculated. 8 minutes to lock. Return. Vecre snapped. Now. Acknowledged. Elias jetted hard. Debris pinged his suit. One chunk grazed. Alarm spiked breach warning. He patched it mid-flight with emergency foam. Airlock cycled. Elias stumbled in. Helmet off. Face slick. Eyes clear. Arms trembled faint under scars. No more. Fix confirmed, he said. No excuses. Unbuckled harness. Tala. Scanned instant. Oxygen 4% on entry. Radiation 210%. Pain markers maxed, but baseline stable. Brack stared. Mandibles slack. You flew reserve. Manual reroute in vacuum. I'd purge at half that. Vecre reviewed logs. Weld flawless. Spike averted. Procedure broken twice. Results undeniable. Elias. Vecre said. Crest low in respect. You lead tech ops until shift end. Squad defers. Elias nodded, rolled shoulders. Spine stable. Check sectors 4 and 9 next. Brack clapped his shoulder. Gentle for his bulk. Owe you twice now, Scarface. Cover your flank anytime. Tala nodded. Data logs uploaded. Human metrics rewriting protocols. Vecre watched Elias grab tools. No swagger. Just work. Prejudice cracked like cheap alloy. This death worlder endured what broke Keth steel. Station shuddered. New alarm howled. Secondary fracture. Core hull. AI blared. Hull integrity 60%. Swarm inbound heavy. Brock grinned fierce. Round 2? Elias suited up, eyes hard. Let's move. Compartment sealed. Pressure loss drill commences. Follow protocol exactly. Vecre's voice cut through the squad channel, crest rigid on the shared feed. Bulkheads hissed shut behind them, trapping the 5 in the narrow core access tube. Red strobes pulsed. Air recyclers whined down to simulation mode. Elias gripped his tool harness, knees flexed against the deck vibration. Swarm inbound, heavy, the AI had warned. Real fractures spiderwebbed the hull logs, but Vecre demanded perfection first. Elias scanned his suit seals. Green. He jetted a microburst from his pack to test balance. Brock snorted over comms. Babysitting the Death Worlder again? Scarface, don't trip on your own feet. Focus! Tala snapped. Her scanner hummed as she logged baselines. Oxygen sim at 80%. Hold formation. Vecre pivoted, mandibles clicking. Elias, forward scout. Manual patch station 3. No deviations. Brack, cover. Tala, monitor. Move! Elias pushed off, mag boots clicking to the forward bulkhead. Debris floated, loose panels from the shutter. He ignored Brock's low chuckles. Scars itched under his suit, old burns from colony flares. Background noise. He reached the patch kit, fingers dancing over seals. Hull groaned, a real screech tore through, metal ripping like foil. The deck buckled. Pressure alarm screamed. True breach. Atmosphere howled out. Brack's yelp cut short as the rupture blasted him sideways. His bulk slammed into a bulkhead strut, armor crumpling. Blood sprayed in 0G globules, mandibles gaping. Brack down, Tala yelled. Her scanner pinged critical. Elias kicked off hard. Swarm chittered beyond the widening gash, claws scraping hull. Deck vibrated under impacts. He snagged Brack's harness mid-spin, yanked him toward the sealed aft compartment. Brack's leg trailed mangled, bone shards glinting through torn plating. "Cover!" Elias grunted. He slammed them both behind a support girder. Swarm probes darted in, acid spit sizzling hull. Elias pinned Brack with one knee, ripped open the medkit Velcro, tourniquet foil deployed. Twist, cinch, lock. Blood flow halved. Brack's optics flickered. Pain scream garbled. "Leg, gone," Brack rasped. "Purge me. Protocol. No." Elias sealed the wound foam. Vibration intensified. Swarm massed at the breach. Carapaces blotting stars. Vekri, actuator on emergency hatch. Powers out. Vekri clung to a rail. Crest flared. Negative. Protocol. Seal breach first. Tala. Brack's pressure dropping 15%. Tala cut in. Her claws flew over her pad. Hemorrhage. 40%. Elias's tourniquet stabilized. Data confirms. Human pressure holds. Hull flexed. A swarm drone wedged through. Mandibles gnashing. Elias drew his plasma cutter. Sliced it mid-lunge. Sparks showered. More clawed in. Actuator dead, Elias reported. He vaulted to the hatch panel. Red lights blinked failure. Power conduits smoked. Hand crank only. "Impossible," Vekri barked. "Crank torque exceeds Keth rating. Squad mass too high." Elias wedged his harness straps into the gear teeth, braced both feet on the deck rung. Muscles knotted. Scars pulled tight. He cranked. First turn ground slow, servos whining protest. Swarm surged. 3 drones now, spitting acid that pitted his boot. Brock groaned. "Scarface, leave me." Elias cranked harder. Second turn. Hull quaked. Tala fired her sidearm, downed a drone. Vekri hesitated, then joined, claws on the panel edge, adding leverage. "Data rewriting," Tala muttered. "Human torque output 220% projected max." Third turn. Ears bit. Hatch groaned. Open a finger width. Air sucked out, pulling at them. Elias poured sweat into the strain. Fourth turn. Gap widened to boot space. "Through!" Elias roared. He hauled Brack first, dragged him kicking into the hatch. Tala followed. Scanner clutched. Vekri last, mandibles tight. Elias dove in, final, cranking the hatch shut behind as a swarm wave crashed the breach, claws scrabbled outside. Thunk. Sealed. They tumbled into the next compartment. Emergency lights flickered on. Elias slumped against the bulkhead, breath ragged. Tourniquet held. Brock's optics stabilized. Vekri stared, crested blow. "You broke protocol. Cranked solo under load. Saved us. Numbers don't lie," Tala said. She patched Brock's leg stump. Elias metrics. Pain threshold ignored. Endurance peak. "Squado's life debt." Brack's mandibles twitched. No mockery. Twice. No, 3 times. "Flanks yours, human. Forever." Elias rolled shoulders. Scars throbbed. Ignored. Hull logs. Swarm vector next. Sector 4 breached wide. Station shuddered again. I blared. "Core breach expanding. Evac protocols active." Swarm Queen signature detected. Vekri nodded sharp. "You lead." Squad defers. Elias grabbed tools. Eyes locked forward. They moved. Tala's injector hissed against Elias's neck. Cold fire bloomed under his skin. He gritted teeth. The compartment lights flickered. Swarm claws scraped the sealed hatch behind them. "Standard analgesic," Tala said. Her scanner beeped. "Pain suppression for your strain." "Vitals stable." Elias nodded once, ignored the burn spreading through veins. Scars on his arms itched deeper. Old wounds from Earth Ops. Nothing new. Beep escalated to alarm. Tala's crest flared.
Reaction. Heart rate 180.
Anaphylaxis spike. Human physiology rejecting. Elias waved her off. Locked eyes on Brock. The trooper slumped against a bulkhead. Leg tourniquet soaked red. Stump pulsed. Optics dimmed. "Stabilize him first." Elias's voice cut steady. "Sedate me later." Tala hesitated. Mandibles clicked. Protocol. Primary reaction patient. Now. World tilted. Meds clawed his chest like acid. Lungs tightened. But he stood, feet planted. Vekri's gaze snapped from hull readouts. Medic, comply. Human leads. Tala pivoted. Scanner swept Brack. Femoral severance. Blood loss 40%. Improv splint needed for evac. Station groaned. Deck plates buckled. Forward bulkhead warped. Door frame twisted from swarm breach pressure. Jagged metal teeth gnashed inward. Only gap. Knee-high slit. Through there's medbay, Elias rasped. Air whistle grew. Swarm probing seals. Brock first. Can't drag dead weight. Brock grunted. Mandibles flared weak. Mockery over, Scarface. Get me. Moving. Elias eyed frame. Superstructure stress. One jam. And corridor clamps. No passage. He dropped tools. Shoved shoulder into warped girder. Metal bit skin. Pushed. Frame creaked. Gap widened 2 inches. Hold it! Beckery barked. Claws gripped Elias's belt. Added pull. Not enough. Tala knelt by Brack. Splint materials. Elias braced harder. Muscles screamed. Meds amplified agony. Organs rebelled. Vision blurred. Station strapping. Deck panel. Conduit foam from vents. Sweat stung eyes. He nodded left. There. Pry-vent.
Foam seals conduits. Expands fast.
Rigid in seconds. Tala ripped panel. Claws sliced strapping coils. Foam canister hissed free. She scanned. Foam cure time. 12 seconds. Structural yield 80% Keth norm. Do it. Elias poured weight. Frame groaned. Gap hit boot width. Air sucked fiercer. His ribs cracked audibly. Ignored. Pain noise. Brock dragged himself forward. Tala wrapped strapping around stump. Pumped foam in. White spray hardened. Splint locked rigid. Test load. Elias grunted. Frame slipped. He jammed boot under. Pushed again. Brack crawled through. Tala shoved scanner after. Dove next. Crest scraped metal. Beckery hauled Elias's harness. Release. We cycle you. No. Elias held. Gap shrank. Swarm thump outside hatch. Queen vector closing. Go. Beckery squeezed past. Last. Elias dove. Frame snapped back. Clanged shut inches from boots. Sealed them in mid-bay corridor. He slumped. Breath ragged. Mids peaked. Lungs seized. Vision tunneled black. Tala's scanner whirred over him. Adrenaline crash. Allergic cascade. Sedate now? Elias waved. Stood. World spun. Ignored. Antihistamine flush. No full sedation. Hull logs first. Brack! Levered up on splint. Tested weight. Held. Mandibles parted. You. Held that solo. Under reaction load.
My flank's yours.
No debt. Honor. Crest low. Data confirms. Human torque 250% norm. Pain override absolute. Tala. Injected counteragent. Elias's chest eased. Metrics rewritten. Human baseline exceeds Deathworlder projections. Elias rolled shoulders. Scars throbbed anew. Fresh gash on arm wept. Background. Medbay stocks. Grab stim packs. Queen signature sector 4. Breached core. Station lurched. Lights died to red emergency. I wailed. Containment failure? Swarm mass critical. Evac pods 300 meters. Corridor ahead buckled. Vents hissed gas. Swarm pheromones? Elias smelled rot. Pods rigged. Beckery said. Swarm overrides. Elias grabbed medbay pry bar. Rigged bypass. Scout path. Tala patched his arm. Quick sealant. Your vitals still elevated. Rest cycle. Path first. Elias moved. Squad fell in. Brock limped close. Splint clicked. Led mockery. Thought scars meant broke. Wrong. Tougher than carapace. Elias nodded. No brag. Foam trick standard. Earth rigs. Swarm drone skittered ceiling dents. Chitin clicked. Beckery raised pulse rifle. Formation. Elias dropped low. Scanned deck. Weak panel. Breach below. Flanked them. Pulse fire cracked. Drones burst. Icar splattered. Tala's scanner pinged. Queen pulse strengthening. Pods compromised. Elias pried panel. Dropped into subdeck. Shortcut. 50 meters. Follow. Darkness swallowed him. Squad dropped after. Claws scraped pursuit. Subdeck narrow. Conduits tangled. Elias crawled. Meds afterburn lingered. Muscles quaked. Pushed. Brock. grunted behind. How you ignore that reaction? I'd flatline. Practice, Elias said. Flat. Light ahead. Pod bay. Sealed doors. Swarm piled outside. Queen silhouette loomed. Ovipositor pulsing eggs. Beckery hissed. Overrun. Elias scanned frame. Warped again. Same play. Brace it. Tala shook crest. Your metrics redline. Can't. Numbers lie sometimes. Elias shouldered door. Pushed. Gap cracked open. Queen mandibles turned. Sensed. Queen mandibles snapped. Flames erupted from ruptured conduits behind the swarm. Fire licked the pod bay walls, swallowing escape routes. Evacuate to lifeboats, Beckery barked. Pulse rifle tracked the Queen. Primary corridor. Double time. Squad bolted. Heat blasted their backs. Swarm drones poured through vents, chitin clacking over roar. Elias gripped the pry bar. Scanned bulkheads. Primary corridor blazed. Flames chewed plasteel. Smoke billowed black. Blocked, Elias said. Flat, pointed left. Maintenance trunk. Bypasses flames. 200 meters to lifeboats. Beckery crested spines flared. Trunks uncharted. Smoke density. Lethal. Procedure. Flames wished closer. Drones skittered down walls. Brock fired bursts. Icor sprayed. Listened to scars. He's right, Tala's mask hissed. Air tox rising. Trunk filters marginal. Elias yanked trunk hatch. Smoke poured out, thick as tar. Heat waves distorted air. He sealed his mask. Dropped first. Follow. Tight. Squad hesitated. Beckery signaled. They plunged in. Trunk narrow. Conduits crushed shoulders. Elias crawled lead. Smoke clawed lungs despite filter. Visibility zero. He felt deck vibrations. Queen's pulse throbbed through metal. Brock grunted behind. Blind in here. How navigate? Touch, Elias said. Fingers traced valves. Counted turns. 1 left. 2 right. Memory locked layout from scout drills. Heat built. Left wall scalded palm. Right cooler. Beard right. Tala coughed. Mask seal cracked. Arms beeped. Filter failing. O2 drop. Elias twisted. Popped his cartridge. Handed back blind. Take mine. Half-life left. She snatched it. Your levels. Practice. He yanked breather tube loose. Swallowed raw smoke. Lungs burned. Ignored. Pushed forward. Vickery's voice crackled comms. Map offline. Swarm jammed signals. Trunk schematics gone. Elias counted valve 8. Twisted probe into seam. Felt pressure drop. Fresh air ahead. Junction. Bent. Purge. Smoke thinned. He kicked grate. Emerged into sub-corridor. Squad spilled out coughing. Brock slumped. Splint buckled under weight. Leg dragged. Can't, Brock rasped. Crest flat. Pride aside. Done. Flames roared distant. Drone scratched ceiling. Pursuit closed. Elias looped arm under Brack. Hoisted. Trooper massed double his frame. Carapace heavy. Muscles screamed from Med's afterburn. Scars pulled tight. Up. Elias dragged. Brock leaned. Squad moved. Tala scanned. Brock fracture worsening. Elias. Euro 2. Heart redline. Path first. Trunk narrowed ahead. Crawl space only. Elias shoved Brock in. Followed. Carried trooper-like pack. Fingers numb. Counted valves blind. 9. 10. Heat spiked left. Flame breach. Swerved right. Memory overlaid ghost map. Turn 14 led lifeboat auxiliary. Brock wheezed. Drop me. Survival math? No. Ellis wedged shoulder. Pushed. Conduit scraped back. Smoke-seared throat raw. Vision blurred. Lungs wheezed. Kept count. Bakery covered rear. Rifle cracked. Drones exploded behind. Human endurance. Defies scans. Tala patched comms. Data confirms. Elias vitals should flatline. E functions. Valve. 15. Elias probed. Hiss. Seal broke. Cooler air rushed. Lifeboat deck. 20 meters under. They spilled out. Lifeboat hatch gleamed. Locked. Swarm pheromones fouled air. Rot stench thickened. Drones boiled from vents. Brack staggered free. Stood tall. You carried carapace. Ignored death cam. Wrong about you. Elias shouldered hatch. Pryber bent metal. Gap widened. In.
Strap.
Vekri nodded sharp. First respect in spines. Lead earned. Tala synced overrides. Pods clear. Launch in. Queen drone burst through deck. Mandibles slashed. Elias rolled. Pryber speared eye. Ichor gushed. Drone thrashed. More claws scraped. Hull groaned. Fire breached outer. Lifeboat trembled. Elias scanned seals. One pod. Tight fit. Queen blocks main. Brack manned turret. Fire support. Vekri punched launch. Pod lurched. Acceleration pinned them. Vents outside shattered. Queen silhouette thrashed as flames consumed bay. Pod streaked clear. Stars wheeled. Silence fell. Tala checked vitals. Elias O2 null. How conscious? He unstrapped. Wiped ichor. Practice. No brag. Scars itched under sealant. Vekri turned. Map failed. You navigated touch, heat, memory.
Squad owes life. Brockcrest rose.
Tougher than Carapace. All human? Elias checked nav. Distress pinged fleet. One step. Alarms blared anew. Pod hull buckled. Pursuit drones latched outside. Claws gouged armor. Claws gouged deeper. Sparks erupted through the pod's inner plating. Elias unstrapped in zero, drifting toward the breach patch. Alarms shrieked. Hull integrity at 30%. Vekri clawed the command console. Turret! Unresponsive! Drones jamming signals. Brack spun in his harness. Crest flattened. Eject them. Manual purge. Tala's claws flew over med scans. Power surge incoming. They'll breach in 2 minutes. Elias, your O2 reads 0. Stay seated. Elias ignored her. He yanked the emergency toolkit from the bulkhead. Pryber, sealant foam, plasma torch. Hull groaned as a drone's mandible punched a fist-sized hole. Vacuum hissed. Stench of burnt chitin flooded in. He kicked off, floated to the breach. Cold bit his exposed scars. Air pressure dropped. Lungs burned. Familiar ache. Like old training dives. Human! Regs say seal from console. Vekri barked, spines rigid with protocol. Elias wedged a pry bar into the hole's edge. Pushed. Metal bent. Drone eye gleamed through the gap. Pheromones wafting. Death chem that felled Brock earlier. Console seal fails under chem corrosion, Elias said. Torch ignited. Blue flame sliced mandible. Ichor splattered, sizzling on his glove. He didn't flinch. Pain layered on pain. Just noise. Brock growled. He's cutting blind! One slip. Pod lurched. Another claw tore lateral plating. Lights flickered. Nav display glitched. Distress beacon wavered. Tala's voice cracked. G-force is spiking. Drones towing us off vector. Fleet intercept in 10, if we hold. Elias sealed the first breach with foam. It expanded, hardening against vacuum. One drone peeled back, tumbling into void, but 3 more latched, mandibles whirring. Vekri's spines drooped. Eva suits compromised by chem. No one's rated for exposure. I'll go.
Elias grabbed the suit locker.
His frame barely fit the alien sizing. Stretched seams from day 1 mocks. He pulled it on. Helmet sealing with a hiss. O2 mask clamped over scars. Pry them off the thruster mounts. Manual release. Brack barked a laugh. You, Death Worlder or not, chem eats flesh in seconds. Elias cycled the airlock. Strap tight. I'll vector us back. Outer door irised. Stars rushed. Drone swarmed his perch, claws scraping boots. He fired thruster pack. 0 tumble stabilized. First drone lunged. Mandible snapped. Elias jammed torch into its joint. Flame severed limb. Ichor sprayed his visor, chem burning through sealant. Skin blistered under suit. He gritted teeth. Push through. Always push. Pod spun below. Vekri's voice crackled. Elias, beacon steadying. Hold course 047. Second drone latched his leg. Claws pierced fabric. Pain lanced. Deep muscle tear. Blood welled, freezing in vacuum. Elias swung pry bar. Crunched carapace. Creature released. Drifting limp. Tala cut in. Vitals crashing. Heart rate 180. Blood loss critical. Abort. 3 left. Elias gripped thruster mount. Drone pheromones fogged his mind. Hallucinations flickered. Old scars screaming fire. He remembered hive raids on Earth colonies. Same rot, same fight. Torch 2 underbelly. Burst sack. Chem cloud bloomed, eating his glove to bone. He roared silent in helmet. Priber hooked final drone's claw. Leaned full weight. Mount groaned free. Drone scattered. Propulsion dead. Pod steadied. Thrusters fired clean. Fleet signatures bloomed on his HUD relay. Brock whooped. Clear, all off. Elias reeled in. Airlock cycled. It collapsed inside, suit venting steam. Helmet off, lungs heaved, blistered hands shook, leg wound oozing. Tala swarmed him. Probes jabbed. Impossible. Gem exposure level lethal for Keth. Human baseline you function. Vekri unstrapped. Spines fully extended. Salute posture. You bled for the vector. Fleet and visual. Regs be damned, your squad lead now. Brack clapped his shoulder. Gentle for once. Carried us twice. Ignored your own blood. What makes humans? Elias wiped ichor from face. Next, breach. He checked wound. Clamped it manual. Pain dulled to hum. Proximity alarm pinged. Fleet corvette loomed. Docking clamps engaged. Hatch open to medtechs. But scanners lit red. Corvette comms crackled. Infestation aboard. Queen spawn breached our hull. Arm up. Fight's not over. Elias stood first, prybar in hand. Squad fell in behind. Elias slammed the prybar into the queen spawn's chitinous maw. Ichor sprayed across his visor. The creature thrashed, barbs raking his armored thigh. He twisted the bar deeper. A crack split the air. The spawn slumped, legs curling. Clear! Brock bellowed, blasting drone remnants with his pulse rifle. Vekri's spines quivered as he scanned corridors. Tala sealed a gash on her own arm, nanites humming. Proximity klaxons wailed. The corvette shuddered, hull breach escalating. Vekri barked. Spine supports failing. Lifeboat bay. Manual override required. Elias yanked his prybar free. Fresh blood trickled down his leg. He ignored it. The squad sprinted down flickering halls. Bulkheads groaned under strain. Lifeboat bay doors loomed. Red locked. Console sparked. Fried. Vekri punched commands. Nothing.
Service cavity access.
Live power relays. Procedure demands certified techs. No time, Elias said. He pried the maintenance hatch. Arsing blue tendrils lashed out. Ozone stung his nose. Hold position, Brock snorted. Human. That's suicide. Keth fry at half that voltage. Elias dropped inside without reply. Conduits hissed. Sparks danced across his suit. He wedged shoulders into the narrow shaft. Old scars on his arms itched, reminders of colony fires, plasma burns. Pain hummed low. Fingers found the override latch. Power surged. Electricity crawled over his gloves. He gripped harder. Fresh burns seared skin. Muscles locked. Vekri's face pressed to the hatch grate. Spines rigid. Elias met his gaze. Held it. No flinch. No grunt. Lever resisted. He pulled. Metal screeched. Latch flipped. Lights surged green. Bay doors ground open. Elias hauled out. Smoke curled from his sleeves. Blisters wept on forearms, crossing faded white lines. Tala jabbed scanners.
Exposure, 80% lethal threshold for Soren. Heart rate steady.
Adrenaline masking shut down. Her mandibles clicked. Data confirms. Functional. Brock stared, rifle lowered. You just climbed in. Pulled it. Lifeboat clamps disengaged with a clang. The corvette listed hard. Elias waved them in. Load up. They piled into the lead pod. Vekri strapped last. Launch sequence. Thrusters ignited. Pod rocketed free. Alarms peaked. Behind, the corvette's spine sheared in a blaze of venting atmosphere. Debris bloomed silent. Pod stabilized. Stars wheeled. Silence fell. Brock unstrapped, faced the squad. His crest flattened. Shame posture. I mocked your scars. Called weakness. Said Deathworlders break first. He dropped to one knee. You burned for us. Twice. I choose wrong. Apologies. Elias Rourke. Squad witness. Vekri activated the log recorder. Spines extended full salute. Official entry. Survival attributed to specialist recruit Elias Rourke. Executed manual override under lethal conditions. Vector secured prior. Human endurance decisive. He paused. Squad lead confirmed. Tala patched Elias's arms. Probes whirred. Pain blockers refused. Background noise, Elias said. He flexed blistered fingers. Prybar rested across knees. No boast, no glare. Fleet signatures pinged closer. Rescue beacon active. Brock clapped his shoulder. Light, respectful. Vecri nodded once. Elias checked the wound clamp. Tightened it. Pain dulled further. Next breach waited somewhere, but for now, they breathed. The pod docked with a cruiser Vanguard. Medtech swarmed. Elias stood aside. Let Tala present data first. Her voice carried. Human metrics exceed projections. 40% tissue damage. Operational capacity 92%. Vecri filed reports beside command deck. Brack hauled gear. Spines low. No more jabs. Elias wiped Icar residue. Scars gleamed under lights, old and new woven. He didn't speak of them. Officers reviewed logs. A Keth Admiral's spines rose. This human? Scarred recruit? Vecri. Saved 22 souls, ours included. Admiral turned to Elias. Report. Elias met the gaze. Straight, cavity override. Latch pulled. Pod launched, spine sheared 17 seconds post. No more. Admiral's mandibles parted. Death Worlder standard? Elias shrugged. Adequate. Brock laughed. Real this time. Adequate? Brock Juno owes life debt. Tala synced data pads. Numbers don't lie. Recommend cross-species protocols update. Human pain threshold. Vecri clasped Elias's arm. Grip firm. Instinct over procedure. Lesson logged. Crisis passed. Squad reformed. Elias checked gear. Prybar clean. Ready. Prejudice cracked under sparks. Respect forged in the burn. He didn't glare. He didn't boast. He just pulled the lever and saved them all.